Hey, what's up, guys? Got a great video blog for you. Got an email in from Jason. He's out in Nashville, Tennessee. Let me read you Jason's email real quickly. TJ, how are you, brother? My name is Jason from Nashville, and I have a quick question for you. Being that it is currently spring, I've been contemplating whether or not I should start to do cardio throughout the week to help me lean out. Summer's right around the corner, and I really want to be able to take my shirt off when it gets nice out. I'm wondering if you do any cardio, and if so, what do you do for it? A big thank you from your pal Jason. Dude, Jason, such a great question. Really appreciate you sending that one in. It's something I haven't touched on 100% yet. I've mentioned it in a few video blogs here and there, but let's dive into this. Let's talk about the cardio that we can use to lose fat and get that lean, ripped body that we want for the summer, right? So, answer your first part, Jason. Yes, I do cardio. The reason being is that there's 4 pillars to the foundation of transformation. And I've hinted at this before. But the 4 pillars, if you haven't caught it up to this point, is that you have your sleep, you have your nutrition, you have your workout regimen, and last but not least, you have your cardio regimen. If one of these 4 pillars is lacking, then you're not going to be able to see your full potential. Your body's going to have inadequacies. So all 4 of these really need to be in check if you want to reach your full potential. Let's talk about cardio. I'm going to talk about the 2 main cardio techniques, and then I'm going to throw in a special one at the end for you guys, an extra third one. So let's jump into it. You have what's called LISS, and you have what's called HIIT. Let's talk about LISS first. LISS is low intensity, steady state cardio. It's a type of cardio that we can utilize to help us burn fat. And we can perform this cardio by hopping on a treadmill or going for a walk, going on a hike up a hill. But the main underlying factors within this specific technique comes down to the duration. It's typically going to be around a 45-minute, maybe an hour walk. Medium pace, slight incline, and off you go. There's some benefits to this. As I mentioned, it's going to burn fat, okay? But there's also, so I'll talk about the benefits and then the negatives. The benefits is that it's going to help burn fat and calories while you're doing this particular, throughout this particular duration of walk. Then, in addition to that, what is going to happen is that it's going to also help flushing the lactic acid throughout your body. You know, if you're continuously lifting, you're going to have lactic acid buildup. It's natural, i.e. soreness. And when we go for a long walk, it's going to help flush and circulate all that lactic acid, get the blood moving, the oxygen flowing, and it's going to loosen up all your muscles. So there's another benefit of LISS cardio. Third benefit, it's not difficult. All you need is time, and then you go for it. It's not really intensive. It's not very taxing on the body, and it's kind of relaxing at times. It can be relaxing. So there's definitely a purpose for LISS cardio. But there's some drawbacks to LISS. Making it probably the least efficient technique for losing fat. You know, if you're someone who's injured or really sore or just incapable of going at a higher intensity, then LISS might be for you at first. But it's not something to depend on. You're not going to get massive results from doing LISS cardio on a consistent basis. It's going to be better than nothing, but it's not the most effective and efficient. What are some disadvantages of LISS? As I mentioned, it's 45 minutes to an hour, so if you're on a time crunch, it's very difficult to get that in. In addition to that, it only burns calories throughout that specific duration of activity. Meaning if you go for a 45-minute walk, for the most part, you're only going to be burning calories throughout that walk. Okay? You're not going to be burning throughout the day, which another technique does do, which we'll get into in a second here. In addition to that, guys, another negative to LISS cardio is that you just simply, because it's so time consuming, it's not really appropriate to do a LISS session or do a workout session and then do your list cardio, or do a list cardio and then do your workout session, because it's just too long, too much activity at once. Your body needs to go through activity and then replenish with nutrients. And if you're coupling an hour walk with an hour workout, it's just too long. So there's some pros, there's some cons there, but it's a technique we can throw into the arsenal. Let's jump into the second technique, HIIT, high intensity interval training. Highly effective also. Okay, this is probably the most preferred method amongst all bodybuilders, amongst all athletes, fitness trainers, abs-seeking enthusiasts, whatever you want to call them, guys. This is extremely effective. And the reason it's effective is because it's high bursts of energy, high output for a short period of time. So as I mentioned, it's high intensity interval training, meaning it's in intervals where you might sprint for 30 seconds and then rest. Depending on your fitness levels, you might rest between 1.5 minutes to upwards of 3 minutes. You would want to do it on, so there's different techniques we can use, or different platforms we can use. We can use the treadmill, the elliptical, the bike. We could go for a sprint on the football field. We can sprint uphill. But ideally what we want to do is do 30 seconds of max effort and then rest for 1.5 minutes to 3 minutes. Okay, it's not a sprint for 30 seconds and then a jog for 2-3 minutes. It's sprint and you're literally walking. You're just walking, okay? And you might even just be at a standstill. If you're walking, it's just, hands up, and you're off, right? So just to slowly focus on deep breaths, flushing all the lactic acid out of your body, all the CO2 is released, helping your body recover. So, and then you get back on. So 30 seconds on the treadmill, we'll say, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes off. 30 seconds on, 2 minutes off. 30 seconds on, 2 minutes off. For a total duration of 10 to 20 minutes. There's going to be times where your body just cannot go 20 minutes. It gets really long, especially if you're like me. I'm relatively fit in terms of my running and my endurance, just because I've played soccer my entire life. So an ideal cardio session for me is 30-second sprint, high incline, max speed. 30 seconds on that bad boy, and then I'm off for 1.5 minutes, and then I'm back on. And I'll do this for about 16 minutes, so that's 8 intervals. That's like my ideal HIIT session, okay? If you're in less shape or better shape, those time iterations are going to alter. 10 to 20 minutes max. Don't think you're doing more benefit by going over the 20-minute mark. You don't want to do that because you're going to start to not only burn fat, but burn muscle tissue. So being in the 10 to 20-minute region is going to preserve muscle. Once you go past that, you start to gamble the muscle loss. We don't want that, guys. We want to maintain muscle, burn fat, and have that chiseled physique. We're chiseling away the stone to reveal that statue underneath. So we can see the intercostals, the serratus, the lower abdominals, see all the striations within our muscles. This cardio technique is going to help do that. Some more benefits to HIIT. It's going to boost our natural growth hormones like testosterone. Okay, not only does this burn calories in the moment, throughout the 10-20 minutes that you're going through this activity, but throughout the day as well. Your metabolism is going to be spiked extremely high, and it's going to stay elevated throughout the day, burning more and more calories throughout the day. This is why it's extremely effective, guys. Compared to LISS, it is extremely difficult. It's very, very taxing on the body. You have to really prepare your mind before doing a HIIT session because it's exhausting. It's uncomfortable. You're going to be completely out of breath. You're probably going to have side aches. You're going to want to, kill yourself. It's extremely intensive, but that's why it works. So with that being said, HIIT is a technique you cannot do every single day. The body is it needs time to recover. When you do a HIIT, it's extremely taxing on the central nervous system. So our ability to recover from it is going to decrease. So an ideal split for the week, if you're trying to get an absolute peak conditioning, when I'm like that last month before a photo shoot or a competition and I need to cut down, I'm doing cardio about 5 times a week, where I'll do probably HIIT 3 to 4 times a week and then LISS 1 or 2 times a week. So it cannot be every single day because your body needs to recover. So with that being said, if you're on a highly HIIT revolving, cardio regimen, throw in some list sessions in there as well to help recover the body, because if you're doing your workout regimen and then you add HIIT into your cardio regimen, your body is just going to be too taxed. No matter how many grams of protein you have, no matter how sound your diet is, your body's going to be taxed. And it's going to disable your body's ability to recover. And so throwing in a list session where you're just doing that nice 45-minute to an hour walk, it's going to help flush all that lactic acid out, as I mentioned, get the blood flowing throughout the body, and you're going to be feeling good the next few days. So that's a great way to structure your cardio list, where it's a mixture of HIIT and a mixture of lists. It wouldn't necessarily want to be HIIT Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then lists on Sunday. You're not going to make it that far, or you're going to do more damage to your body than good. Stagger it, right? You wouldn't go in and do chest Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Same with cardio. Those muscles are going to be taxed. Your central nervous system is going to be taxed, and it's going to hinder your performance and your results. So that's HIIT for you. What's that third one I was talking about? This is a special tongue twister, special cardio technique. It takes a little bit of what we know in the gym in terms of lifting weights, and it couples it with this HIIT principle. So instead of going on a treadmill for 30 seconds and resting a minute and a half, 2 minutes, what we're doing is going to the gym, lifting weights, doing a fast pace circuit training, circuit style lifts with rest at the end, and then we repeat it. So an example of that is, let me think, so maybe a 3 exercise routine. Okay, let's say squats, lunges, and jumping squats. Okay, what we would do is, this is a simplistic example. 30 reps of each. 30 reps of squats, 30 reps of walking lunges, 30 reps of jumping squats. We would do that back to back to back and then rest. So 30, 30, 30 reps, then rest. So there's 0 rest in between. So it's as if we're sprinting for X amount of time and then we're resting, right? It's getting our heart rate absolutely elevated to the pretty much max, and then allowing time to elapse so that our heart rate can decrease, get back to more of a normal pace so we can hit it again, right? So that's what we would do in the gym. You would do, 5 rounds of that, and then you can go on to the next one depending on the total duration of your workout that you're trying to hit. But that's an example of mixing that HIIT with lifting. Why is that so beneficial though? Why is that better than just HIIT itself? I'll tell you why. We're activating our muscles while we're burning fat. So we're burning fat, losing calories, but we're promoting muscle growth, lean muscle gains. It doesn't get any better than that, guys. That's exactly what we're going for, right? We're trying to add lean muscle, trying to burn fat, get that chiseled physique. That's what it's all about. So throw that into your arsenal. It's extremely powerful. Utilize that. Not only is it going to increase our lean muscle mass, but it's going to do so through the process of boosting our growth hormones and our testosterone. And there are a few negatives to lifting this way. If I didn't mention the negatives for HIIT, the negatives for HIIT are, I did mention it, but taxing of the central nervous system, you can't do it on a repeated basis. In terms of negatives for this weight room HIIT, I'll call it, what those are would be, we're building more or less the endurance of our muscle rather than the strength. So instead of doing 4 sets of 8, where we're hitting hypertrophy and we're working on our, it's hitting our strength and building muscle. This is strictly the endurance of the muscle, very, very lean muscle, building the cardiovascular. It's both aerobic and anaerobic processes being mixed, where typical workouts are going to be, just anaerobic, okay, in terms of our weightlifting. So that's kind of the drawback. But there's something to be mentioned about lists and HIIT and this third weight room HIIT. If you're doing lists and if you're doing HIIT, it's not ideal to do that with your workout. You're not going to go to the gym and do a session of HIIT and then go right into the workout, and do chest. Or you're not going to do chest and back and then do a HIIT session. It's too much, complete overload. taxing the body way too much, utilizing muscle mass for energy. We cannot do that. So in a perfect world, what we would do is wake up in the morning, probably do fasted lifts where we're hopping on the treadmill, nothing in our body except maybe some BCA, some glutamine, trying to do it in a fasted state. And then later that evening we would go in and do our regular workout. That is like a prime example of what a top fitness person would do, or someone who's trying to get in peak physical condition. So that's one approach, but not everybody can sacrifice the time it takes to go in the morning, go in the evening, every single day. So that's when this last third technique is going to become very, very handy, where you can mix in both that aerobic of the HIIT cardio or the list cardio and match it with the lifting, where we're activating our muscles at the same time. Doing a regular workout routine. We're still hitting our chest, we're still hitting our back, our shoulders, our thighs. The only difference is that we're doing more reps, we're doing it faster, and just slightly different rep set scheme. We're not going to do 4 sets of 8 or 4 sets of 12, 12, 10, 8, 6. We're going to do 3 exercises or more in a circular fashion, and then we're going to rest, and then we're going to repeat it. So there's benefits there, guys. Jason, man, really awesome question. I really appreciate it. Everyone else, feel free to send me a question when you have the chance. I'd love to answer it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care. I'm out.